What's up, my good people? So today we're going to talk about family secrets and how they destroy families. And also dispelling this notion of what goes on in this house stays in this house, which is one of the most toxic things that we probably learned as children. And we probably taught our children the same thing. Just addressing that phrase, can you imagine like children who really maybe suffered from some sort of abuse, be it emotionally, physically, or whatever have you, and because what goes on in this house stays in this house, how many of those children probably to this day still carry the burden of what happened to them as children, and now they lack the knowledge of how to express themselves, and they don't even know where to even begin because they've been bottling things up for so long. Now, in theory, I understand why you would not want certain things going on in the house to be talked about outside of the house. Like, you don't want nobody running around telling the neighborhood how much money you make, or where you keep your safe at, or, personal things such as that. But the thing is, we were brought up to keep everything hush hush that happens within a household without context, right? So it was never said what goes on in this house stays in this house as it pertains to XYZ. It was kind of like a blanket statement. Everybody had to jump on board. If you got to talking about what was going on in the house, you got your little behind whooped at the end of the day. So, imagine the things that fell under that umbrella of what goes on in this house stays in this house, that to this day is or has not been addressed. The amount of trauma that some adults are probably still experiencing to this day as residual effects of the things that they've been holding on to since they were kids. They probably haven't even expressed this stuff to their significant other, their children, their pastor or therapist or counselor or friends, or even their siblings. It's some siblings who have experienced the same things and have never ever discussed it with one another because they were told that they can't even talk about those things. The sad part is that's how the cycle continues to happen, because what doesn't get addressed will eventually become a mess. And that's what's happened. The reality of the situation is everybody in the family 9 times out of 10 already knows who beat on or hit who touched or did such and such to who was the alcoholic or the drug addict, who got kids over here and also got kids over there and a whole nother family over yonder, who, such and such did whatever to whomever, and that's why they ain't spoken years, and the siblings don't talk and neither do the children talking. The thing is, I'm not saying that any of it is easy, but all of it is necessary, because we have generations of this toxic behavior that continues to cycle because it's gone unaddressed for so long that we feel like that's just the way that it goes. And that needs to change, because breaking generational curses shouldn't just be about one thing specifically. It shouldn't just be a spiritual thing. It shouldn't just be a financial thing. It shouldn't just be a thing in which, this was a bad habit that somebody had of drinking or using drugs, or just anything like that. It should encompass matters of the heart as well, and matters of the mind, and matters of the feelings and the emotions, because these coping mechanisms that we've learned to use to deal with these things, they're not really coping mechanisms. They're just, it's like, I've said this before, it's like you hid from it, you didn't heal from it. You're basically going through this cycle over and over again, whether you know it or not, and it's coming out in different areas of your life because we not addressing it. often said, God willing and I get married, Lord, send me a man that's willing to go to therapy, because I believe in God, but I also believe that he put therapists here for a reason. And I think that as a people, Black people specifically, we've had to bear the burden of things that happened to us so many hundreds of years ago, that some of that trauma and some of that stress and some of those things that we have to deal with are so far deep rooted that they can't just be like, I mean, yeah, it's okay to think you're going to pray some things away, but I feel like there are other tools in place as well that we have to work on those things. And I feel like those things are so deep rooted, deep down in in the fabric of who we are, that we got to fight like I don't know what to get from up under these things so we can be healthy. And I'm not saying like everybody got to sign up and go to therapy and they gotta be in therapy all their life. No, but I do honestly think that at some point in life, we probably all need somebody to talk to at some point that has no vested interest in us being one way or another, that can help us think through and talk through and relate to and get past some things. Because like I said, even from far back as we can remember, even coming here, but then also growing up and the quiet as is kept, and the secrets and the lies and the things that we're told to pretend you don't even know and you don't know nothing about, and you got to act this way around that is a lot for humans, let alone children, to deal with. So I say this out of love, out of care, and out of concern for the people, just anybody that comes across this video. Like, at some point in life, we have to start taking responsibility to put an end to stuff that other people started, because there's certain traditions are just not healthy, and certain traditions and certain belief systems that we have destroyed us for generations, and we can't keep allowing those things to happen. Imagine going to the doctor, and because people don't talk about health and talk about things, not knowing if you have people in your family that's a diabetic, if somebody's sick, if somebody had cancer, if somebody dealt with anything specific. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Because, what go on in this house, stay in this house, even as it pertains to health, even if it pertains to things that could even benefit other people. And like I said, no, I'm not telling you that you got to go around blurting all your business out for the world to know, but just think about other people as well. Like, maybe the things that you're quiet about and you hush about could be affecting somebody else. And that's as it goes to physical health, emotional health, or mental health. Like, just think about the children who grow up and are already labeled from elementary school, and they don't know why they're acting a certain way, but it's something that maybe runs in the family that nobody wants to talk about because it's a big old secret and you just don't talk about that, or we don't discuss that. I get so sick of that. Like, we don't discuss it. Why can people not discuss things that potentially are affecting other people or allowing things to happen to other people? Because we don't want to talk about it. So let's talk.